Future Senpai here. I just want to make a couple clarifications. I made a couple errors in the video itself. I will let this go to Pass Senpai and pass on about this after I'm done here. But first of all, I just want to mention correct my past self, that I guess Steven Maeda is really actually the showrunner after all, as it shows right here, showrunner of One Piece on Netflix. And this is where, this is where I was like talking about in the video itself. I was talking about this little tweet, and I don't know why it was mentioned in the other video that I was looking at, because I kind of looked at it a little bit, but from the I don't know what that person's really upset about when they were highlighting this, because this is not even Steven Maeda that said this. And even if it was, it wouldn't be a bad thing, because this is pretty accurate, because it says right here, I'll just let you pause and read this. But it goes on to what I was talking about in the video. But it wasn't Steve that said it. It was but Steve did say this little part right here. Sometimes you need to retweet things twice. So, final thoughts before I go to the Past Senpai and Past Sean. And first of all, I gotta go to the intro. I guess I'm gonna give Steven Maeda a benefit of the doubt, because I was looking at his Twitter page, and I mean, aside from like that news article, which I can't remember if it was that news article or not that said that, I see nothing here that would make me question Steve Maeda. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for now. Just cue the intro, and I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Hey everybody, Senpai here. I brought Barry with me because this is a very important video. A video that I wasn't originally going to do, but I figured there's enough stuff going on about this that I figured it felt like it's warranted and stuff needs to be said, I believe. This goes into the whole thing about the One Piece live action series. I had my friend here check out some stuff because he pointed out some stuff to me and I pointed some stuff out to him. I just wanted to be on like some of the, have at least some of the same knowledge as me. Now I cut out anything that was spoiler for him, so anything that would have been relevant for that. Yeah, he does not know that information, so but he does have enough knowledge about all this stuff, so he does have. So first of all, I'm just gonna let him get started. All right, you want to get started on this whole thing?
Well, you know more about it than I do.
Alright, the thing is, okay, I was pointing out the whole situation about from Yellow Flash 2. And at first I thought this is a side note, I thought this was a YouTuber I knew from my Naruto days, from when that was still going on. And it turns out it's not the same guy. Which makes me confused, but that's, like I said, that's a whole side note. But the important thing is, he started going through One Piece, and he started making some news on this stuff. And I'm not going to just keep calling them people out like this, because I don't want to keep calling people out inappropriately. But I feel like that much needs to be said for context. I don't know.
Well, the guy said he's only 5 chapters into it.
Well, yeah, his most recent video I saw, he was 10 chapters in, so he made some progress. He's now in the whole thing with Orange Town. In fact, by now,
is he? Let me ask you this: is he anywhere close to finishing the East Blue?
If he is only doing like 5 chapters a day or every other day, no.
Okay, so
he's probably not. He's not even halfway through.
That's the point he's trying to make, is that this guy is naysaying stuff about the live action show when he's never read the manga. He's only 5 chapters into the manga, now 10 chapters in, which isn't even close to the end of the East Blue, which is what the first season is going to be about. And
just for full context, the East Blue saga alone for the manga is 100 chapters. And that is 53 episodes of the anime.
10% of the way through.
Yeah.
So it'd be at the end of episode 1.
Probably, yeah.
So he'd be judging it by 1 episode.
Yeah, if we're going by that whole percentage thing, yeah. Now, whether that would be the case, or we don't know, but that's not important. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is the stuff that he was having problems with. He mentioned the stuff about the script, and we all saw it was the title of the first episode is being called Romance Dawn, and anyone who's read the manga, and I could probably give a pass for people who have not read the anime who have not read the manga and have watched the anime, because the anime has different titles. But people who have read the manga, which this guy has, my friend here has not read the manga, so I had to enlighten him on that a little bit. But the first chapter was Romance Dawn. So, and if he's just 10 chapters in, like he said he is, you should know, and everyone should know, that the whole thing is in line with each other. And then I saw, he showed a video of a tweet where someone was describing the world, the government inside One Piece, and he was taking that out of context about, like, he was thinking about a whole thing about bringing our politics, and yeah, maybe he was I'm not talking about the YouTuber. I'm talking about the person in the tweet. And I'm not talking about the whole thing about the Kamala Harris thing. I'm not talking about that. In fact, that wasn't even in the tweet. If I recall. But the tweet was just about how Luffy is in this world with a corrupt government, which he is, and thoughts, words.
Basically, if you're going to be making a show and you are in Hollywood, it's not a bright idea to be bringing politics of any kind into your anime, movie, television show.
And I can understand if you're trying to base it off of like real world politics, just so people can have an understanding of what things are like. I can understand that if that's what they're doing, if that's all they're doing, then that's fine. I'm fair enough with that.
My big thing is like, okay, so the left side keeps attacking Trump. But you know what? What did Trump freaking do? Wait, can I curse on your channel?
Yeah.
What the fuck did Trump do that's so fucking bad?
Just keep it to a minimum.
Compared to what Biden's done. Biden's trying to blame Trump for the whole pulling out of Afghanistan. Funny, Trump hasn't been president for 9 months.
Yeah, he was sworn in.
And Trump was trying to end things peacefully. He was trying to get them out slowly. Or maybe he was keeping them in. And it was just costing us money. That's why, supposedly, that's why they pulled out the troops. Because it was costing them money. And so they just cut all the funding and pulled out the troops and said, we're done.
And speaking on the whole Trump thing, the whole comparison that I think is very inappropriate is if you are up to like Saba Odi Archipelago, you know who this character is. But Trump is being compared to St. Charles. That Barry almost was thinking about destroying the world for a second there, and I was just going to say, okay, Barry, do whatever you want. Just calm down and keep me alive.
Did you really want to be in a world like that, though?
No,
like, you don't even want to be in this world. Do you want to be in that world? But no, the point is, it's like, okay, the left side, that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that the left side, they're the ones keeping Trump relevant. They're the ones who keep bringing him up.
And the thing that I have a problem with is St. Charles dealt with slavery. He was actually going to purchase like a mermaid with no what's the word I'm looking for? No care of, no thought of how she would feel. And he takes wives like they're freaking commodities that could be easily be disposed of. Heck, he even said to one of his servants that he wanted to take this one woman as his wife. I think it was like the 10th wife or something. And he said, oh, and by the way, get rid of wives 1 through 4. And I'm just thinking, this guy's an asshole. And you know what? If people think they can compare St. Charles, the person who goes through wives like they're like their livestock or whatever, and and has slaves, I don't care if people call me a Trump supporter or not. I don't care. That is not important. But the whole point I'm making right now is that Trump does not have slaves, and he does not go through wives like St. Charles does. So tell me, how the heck are they similar?
I have no clue.
That was a little bit of a rant.
Well, it's just the fact they need to freaking leave out politics out of everything. I've been dying to say this on my channel for the longest time, and I haven't because, as an author, I do want to sell books. And I don't put my politics, my beliefs of politics into my books. I do the politics that either exist or that I think this world would have. Like the way I have politics going in my book series, The Guardian of Light, which you've read, you can vouch. Does that sound like our government at all?
No, and I'm in the process of reading it again to freshen up my stuff.
And the politics aren't the main focus.
I think the only time I remember them being involved was at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. It's not the main focus. The main focus is the story. Yes, it's like, okay. And this is where it's a kind of a touchy subject, though, because, like, take a look at the prequels. Everybody hated the prequels. Why? Because of all the politics. But that's just it. That's what a war is. When you have a war going on, you need to address the politics of that world. And that's something we writers, we know. You need that. You have to tell that to the audience, or the audience doesn't know why this war started. But when you're making an anime or you're making a movie, the viewer doesn't care what your personal politics are. No. They want you to make them a good movie. They want you to make a good TV show or draw a good manga or anime or whatever.
Good entertainment, good story.
I don't know how new this is, but it looks like there's images of the ship.
Huh. I'm not really sure. I don't know who that is either. But you know what? I'm not going to spend this whole video talking about the whole downside. I'm not going to make this whole video dedicated to a rant and talk about the bad side. I'm also going to talk about the good side here. Now, the final thing that I will say is Steven Maeda, whatever his name is, he was the only person really named in all this backlash against the One Piece live action series. However, there is one person they do not include. And this is the part that infuriates me, because this one person has me on board with live action. And I will defend this live action series until I see whether for myself if it's good or bad.
Well, real quick, to play devil's advocate, the thing they're worried about, the thing the naysayers are worried about, is that the showrunner, supposedly,
you don't even know if he is a showrunner,
is the same showrunner of the upcoming Cowboy Bebop.
We do know that it is an executive producer from the Cowboy Bebop series. We do know that. But we don't know necessarily if it's the same showrunner. We don't know that.
But that's what they're worried about. So basically, what they're thinking is, in November, when Cowboy Bebop comes out, if it's bad, One Piece will be bad, is what they're saying.
Yeah. And I disagree. And now I'm going to tell you why. Because the other name that was mentioned in that was Matt Owens. And to be fair, a year ago when I first heard about this guy, because I don't really pay attention to every writer or producer. I really don't care for the most part about most writers and producers, because most of them never really get brought up ever, really. The only ones that really get brought up are really well-known ones, like George Lucas. But so I mean, yeah, some of these other writers, maybe they're brought up and maybe people care, but me myself, I don't really notice all these other names because I just don't care. I just want to watch. I just want to watch. Watch a movie or a TV series and have a good time. That's why I'm there. That's what brings me in.
And Matt Owens is the first name on the script.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I really want to highlight is Matt Owens. If anyone wants to say anything about the live action series, they should be looking at Matt Owens, not Steven Maeda. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Oh well, he deserves it.
Now, the reason why I am defending Matt in the first place is a year ago, as I was leading into this whole thing, he appeared in a podcast that was broadcast live on YouTube, and it has this whole thing was even mentioned in news articles. So it's not like this thing is irrelevant, because I have seen this be brought up in news articles before. So he appeared as a guest for about 50 minutes, I think. And in that 50 minutes, the other people who were there at the time were asking him questions. And he was, at first, I was skeptical of if this guy was really a fan. But hearing him talk, he was winning me over. And by the time he left, I was a big supporter. I was a big believer that Matt really cared about the series. And in that whole process, he had said that Oda had to approve of him. And, that's one thing about this whole live action series. This whole live action series only got traction when Oda signed off on it. If Oda didn't like the direction that they were going to go, this wouldn't be happening. This live action series would be dead in the dirt. Which, by the way, Oda himself is one of the executive producers, along with the person who's doing the Cowboy Bebop series, which people don't like.
Well, you can't really say they don't like it.
Well, they don't like the executive producer.
I'm just saying
they don't like the.
You can't say they don't like the show because the show hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
we haven't even gotten a trailer yet. You can't like something you've never seen. This is the thing I was so pissed off about when The Rise of Skywalker was coming out, because there were script leaks and everything, and everybody read it or looked at it the wrong way, so they immediately formed opinions about it before it was even out.
And I get why so many people are very hesitant to trust Netflix, because let's be real here, Netflix doesn't have the best track record with adapting anime into live action. I mean, like, look at the whole thing with Death Note. That was atrocious. I haven't even watched that whole movie myself. I did watch, like, I think someone, like, a movie reviewer, or, like, a reactor. Yeah, it was a reactor on YouTube, which I guess that makes me a pirate, but, I mean, heck, I'm talking about One Piece here, so, whatever.
Well, not only that, they did, the live-action Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm sorry, with a full Japanese cast, it doesn't work. It looks like
that looked like cosplay. Yeah, that looked like cosplay. That looked like they were wearing wigs and all that stuff, and it just looked bad. I mean, I would have been fine with. They should have just kept the characters with their black hair, and I would have been fine with it.
They should have just. I mean, if they really want to be so diverse, maybe they should have actually gotten Germans to play them, since it basically takes place in an alternate version of Germany.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, I don't see it. Sorry, unless your hair is fake, meaning you've dyed it that color, I don't see a lot of natural Japanese blondes.
Yeah, most Japanese have black hair.
Black or brown.
Yeah. And so, where was I going with that?
Just Netflix that does not.
Oh yeah. Now, back on track. Netflix was bad with the whole thing with Death Note and all that stuff. Now, the thing that Matt Owens has said, because he was even asked, like, he was even approached as a question or a statement. They were saying, okay, hey Matt, we are nervous about this whole series being adapted into live action. And Matt himself, he has said that, yeah, he fully gets it, and he understands that there's no reason for anime fans to trust a live action adaptation because there has been so many bad stuff. But Matt made one point clear that this is not a movie. This is a TV series, so the rules that go into making this are different. So we don't. The thing with a movie, you're limited to like about an hour and a half, 2 hours, usually. That's unless if people are really confident in the movie, then they will let it be longer than that. But it's usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours. With a TV series, they have way more time.
They do, as long as the company is still willing to budget them. And like we talked about when we talked about our expectations for the upcoming thing, I don't see Netflix willing to put up with it for too long if it costs too much.
Now, thing is, I also looked at another video before I came here. Sean hasn't seen this video, but I have. It was a value. It was a video talking about the value of One Piece, the franchise itself. And in that video, they have stated that the manga has sold with the whole value is $11 billion. And the anime is, I think, another $4 billion on top of that. And by the whole time, all the other merchandise and that's involved, which I found there's some interesting merchandise for One Piece. Oh boy, I'm not gonna get into all that stuff here because I feel like some of that is inappropriate for this. At least for me, I'm not gonna talk about it. But the whole net value of One Piece is $20 billion. And that puts them. What did the video say? It was like in the top 20 of most profitable series. Which the most profitable series, by the way, on that list that I saw was Pokemon. I don't know if you knew that.
I would have figured.
Pokemon's value is at like $90 billion.
It's only been running for like 20 years.
Yeah, well, One Piece is almost as old, and it's a lot less.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been consistently running in all countries, probably selling tons of merchandise, tons of games.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've seen so many times where McDonald's has said Pokemon Happy Meals. I've never seen a One Piece Happy Meal.
Yeah. That's a thing it's really a shame, that One Piece is not as popular as it is. But I mean, even though it's made like the series itself is worth $20 billion, or it has earned that much. since 1997 with volume 1 of the manga, because I think also I will link the video down below of where I got all this information about the value of One Piece, and I will leave it up to you to go check that out, because some of that video does contain spoilers, and if you go to that video, you'll probably get recommended a lot of stuff in your YouTube channel or YouTube feed, whatever, and you'll start seeing loads of stuff that might be spoilers. So check that out at your own risk. But anyways, the One Piece series did not get any value, really, hardly any at all. I think it was actually in danger of being halted in 1997. But in December of that year, when Volume 1 came out, it earned $200,000. Now, $200,000, I mean, that might sound impressive to most normal people who don't make a lot of money. In fact, but for a company, $200,000, that's nothing. Well, is $200,000 decent for? What do you think? Do you think $200,000 is decent for like a release of some?
I would say so. If I made $200,000, I'd be happy. And I got 5 books.
But anyways, that was with.
I made over 200.
That was with Volume 1, and after that it started skyrocketing, and this video also calculates Oda's personal worth, how much, and I think Oda since he's a creator of One Piece, he should have a lot more than this, but I guess apparently this is based off this video, but Oda has, of that $20 billion, Oda has 200 million. Now 200 million, yeah, that's definitely nice. I'd be very comfortable with that. But 200 million out of 20 billion?
But how much does he still have? Is the question. Because he's got to pay people all the time.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how much. I just know that that's his net worth. And for fun, that this is the last detail I'll talk about that video, because I just want you to check out that video. I'm not gonna, because it's a good video. But every second, meaning like from the time I push record to this video, to when I push stop on this video, One Piece has probably gained enough money just in time span of this video where like it could cover a normal person's salary for like a year.
Now, One Piece has the potential to be the next Stranger Things or the next Witcher, but so did Dark Crystal, and Netflix pulled that. And they already spent a ton of money on all the puppets and shit, and now they canceled it after 1 season because saying it costs too much. It's like you spent more on making the show, getting it set up, than what it's going to cost to keep making the show. And trust me, people wanted to see more. People were pissed that they canceled that.
I'm not really familiar with that, but I do know that. Now the thing is, I'm really confident.
Well, I was just sorry to interrupt, but I'm just saying that's the thing about why people are concerned about Netflix running this show, because they're worried that if they would cancel a show that everybody wants to keep putting out stuff people don't want,
like Death Note live action.
No, like that movie Cuties or whatever.
Oh yeah,
with the twerking little girls.
Oh god.
And all the woke TV shows they've been making and woke movies they've been making. You know, like, oh, everything's got to have a lesbian now. Everything's got to have a female now. Everything's got to have colored people now. White people bad. Straight bad.
Now, I also made, this is a little side note, there will be another video I will upload at a later date. I'll be uploading this video first because it's more important. But I did upload another video for fun that I think what the live action series would look like if it's successful, and I did with Sean here, and he has put his whole thoughts about what he thinks, and I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say his thoughts, but I will say my thought. I think this series, if it's successful, and with Oda's signing on it, I really think we can have something that goes up to, and I do not see it lasting longer than 12 seasons. I think it could last 12 seasons. He disagrees with me, but I think it can just because Oda's involved. Now, I think, but the bottom line is, I'm not sure if I really accomplished anything with this video, but the bottom line is that Matt Owens has not been talked about at all in these naysayers videos, and I really feel like that should be something that should be brought up. Now, since I've been going on about this whole thing about my thoughts, and he has, you haven't really said your thoughts about the whole thing about Matt Owens. Do you trust Matt Owens, or are you nervous still? Because I trust him.
I mean, he convinced all those hardcore fans in that podcast that he was good for it. And he told the story about how he convinced Oda how he was good for it. I mean, honestly, it would maybe help the series out a little bit if Oda went on one of these, podcasts or, somebody's, thing and actually said, what his thoughts about the current One Piece is.
I doubt that would happen though, because he's so busy every week, all the time with drawing the manga.
But I mean, as the executive producer, I think this guy who went and made this political tweet should be fired and taken off the project like immediately.
Oh yeah, that's the same executive producer that was working on.
And I'll tell you what, YouTube, if Oda actually was to pull the trigger and say, "Look, Netflix, you fire this writer right now. Get him off our project." If he did that and Netflix listened to him, well, guess what? Everybody who's concerned about this would definitely turn their ass around. They would have no thoughts of concern probably for this show.
Yeah.
And it might actually get a few more people invested into the show.
Yeah, even like the naysayers who are naysaying it.
They're like, holy crap, this dude made a political tweet and it pissed Oda off to where he got that dude fired from the show. I'm checking out this show. This creator's really involved.
Now, I'm not going to really count on Oda getting involved on that level. I mean, it would be nice if he does, but I mean, if you're following the manga, you know how busy he is. He's always shelling out new chapters almost every single week. He has hardly any breaks, and I've seen there's actually a video on YouTube that is like the life of a mangaka or manga artist or author, and that is a pretty good video, although I feel like that video is a very optimistic view of like someone who's just very new, but I think for someone who is very established, and I mean, yeah, Oda's established, but I feel like the pressure's on for him a little bit more because he is fully now expected by Shueisha to bring out a new chapter every week. He has Shueisha on his shoulder every week saying, Oda, there's a new chapter coming out. And now, the thing with Oda, he works like a month in advance.
That's just usually with most publishers.
So, chapter 1024 was just released, and chapter 1025, I mean, it has leaked to the public by now, all that stuff because of the whole Japanese thing, but I'm not going to get into the whole leaks and stuff because I do not support those releases. I only support the official release, which all you guys should do that too. Now, considering, okay, chapter 1024 was just released, so that means Oda is probably working on chapter 1028 or 1029. And he's probably polishing up those earlier chapters that have yet to be published. Although 1025, like I said before, that's pretty much already out. It's just waiting for the official release. So Oda has no control over 1025 anymore. That's out. That's out the door. Oda has no control over that anymore. But 1026 to 1029, Oda can still tweak that stuff a little bit. And going forward, he can even do stuff with that. But he hasn't done anything past 1030. Pretty sure he hasn't.
I've got nothing else to say about this.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here. So, this was an interesting video. I'm not used to doing this kind of stuff. I'm just surprised I lasted this long. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and support me on Patreon. And also, I'll let him do his closeout. What you got going on and all that stuff?
Just random stuff. Just check out my link in the description below.
All right, random stuff. Okay. Well, so I will probably do. I won't be doing a whole lot of this stuff unless it's something really gets my attention. But for now, I'm gonna call it, and I probably won't be touching on this again until live action series actually itself comes out. I prefer not to touch on this subject again until that point. Now we'll still be talking about the manga and anime and all that stuff before then. But as far as the live action goes, this is the only video I plan on doing until it's released. So as I said, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you can, it's really appreciative. And I have even a thing. If I can get my Patreon to if I get to the first up to $56 for Patreon, that will enable me to ensure content to come out on a more constant basis, because the thing is, with the stuff that I use, that's how much it costs. And so after that first $56, and then I can do more. So I'm just saying,
what do they call it on Patreon if they back you or give you money?
What was that?
What do they call it on Patreon if they give you money?
Patron.
Okay. Are you trying to reach a goal of patrons?
Not necessarily. I'm just trying to get to I just want to get to a certain, just
10 patrons.
Just
Is that a good goal?
Yeah, 10 patrons. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys what. I'll get him to upload a video to Patreon. If he gets 10 patrons, me and him will do a whole video where we talk about our views on the world today.
Well, that would be interesting. boy.
I'm talking woke culture, SJWs, transgenders, all that stuff.
Some of that stuff.
No whole bars.
Some of that stuff is good. Some of it's bad. Most of it's bad. It had some good stuff, but that'll be like a video by itself. But anyways,
only for Patreon.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna close out here. This is the final message. I'll see you guys in the next one. The next one will be on a much happier note. This one I tried to make happy in some respect with the whole thing with Matt. So for now, I am a believer. I'm being cautious. I'll see you guys later.